I'll post it later. So we're doing 4.1, which is while loops. And unit 4 is all about iteration, and iteration is looping or repeating things. Okay, and we're going to learn two types of loops in this chapter or in this unit. One is called a while loop. That's what we're doing today. And the other one is called a for loop. I'm just telling you up front. So here is a basic while loop. In fact, it's almost what we just did on the warm-up. So there's a hint for you. If you it's wrong though. It prints 1, 2, 3, 4, not 4, 3, 2, 1. But hey, I'm brave enough to correct myself on the fly. We're going to look at the parts of a while loop. First, there's this line that says while, small letter W, and then it has a Boolean condition. So the Boolean condition is going to be an expression that can be evaluated to be either true or false. And then you've got, so that's in parentheses. Okay, that's the opening of a while loop. And then you have a block of code inside a body, the body of the loop. It's usually between braces. You don't have to put it between braces if you only have a single command. So you can technically, just like an if statement, you can have the while, and then on the next line, you can have a command, and that's in the loop. But most of the time you have more than one command, and most of the time you have the braces. If the Boolean expression is false to begin with, the inside block never gets run. But otherwise, you assume if it's true, we go in, we run what's on the inside, and then Java does another evaluation. Do I run it again? And if it's true, it goes back in. Otherwise, it just skips over. So this is why when we run this code, first time in, X is 1, it prints an X, and then adds 1 to X. And then X is 2. Hey, I'm going to run it again. It prints a 2. X is 3. X is 4. And then finally, when X is 4, it prints the 4, and then it adds 1 to X. X is 5. Comes back up here and checks, hey, is X less than 5? No. Then it doesn't do the code anymore. It just hops down below and keeps going. Any questions so far? This, everybody, is an infinite loop. You saw it in the warm-up. If you saw, I did this just like this. And that's because there's nothing changing the variable. Like the variable is how we're going to get out of this loop. And if you don't change the variable, you're going to get stuck there forever. And I say in a funny way, like we try not to do this. I mean, you don't normally write a program that has an infinite loop like that. And speaking of infinite loops, there's 3 ways to get out of a while loop. One way is to make sure that at some point that Boolean expression becomes false. So when that happens, Java stops. It skips over the block of code and just goes on with your program. There's another way, and that's you can use a break command. And a break command leaves the loop just right at that point. Usually it would probably be in an if statement. So I give an example there, like if X is greater than 7, then break, like you could have a little check inside the program where it's checking something, and then at the right time it breaks. And then the last way is if the loop is in a method, you can use a return call, and that leaves the loop immediately. And we'll see that another day. We're not doing that today, but I'm just showing you there's 3 ways to get out of a loop. So I'd like you, everyone, all of you wonderful people, to see if you can figure out what you think is going to get printed out by this code. So take a look, treat it like a little puzzle, maybe get a piece of paper, use scratch paper, and try to figure it out. I'll give you a minute. This is actually trickier than it looks. The correct answer is 531 and then -1. The reason why is inside the while loop, first you print a 5, then you print a 3, and then you print a 1. But after you print that 1, yeah, we subtract 2 from x. So now x is -1. So it doesn't run the loop anymore, but then there is this print here at the bottom that prints the -1. So anyway. If you just had 531, good work. You're following the loop right. And then you just didn't notice that we're also printing out x one more time. And at that point, x was equal to -1. So questions? Why you got to do that to us, Mr. Hayes? I don't know. Probably just trying to help you get ready for the future. So let's see if you can figure out what happens on this code. This is a little more complicated. I would think nothing would beat having a pencil or pen and a little piece of paper. Let's see. Sorry, just trying to get a little workspace up here. For something like this, it's helpful to keep track of what x is. It's 5309, and then maybe keep track of what gets printed. So x is 5309. We come in, x is greater than 0, so we're going to execute the code we print. What's x mod 10? That's 5309 divided by 10 has a remainder of 9. So what gets printed is 9 and a space. And then on the next line, x equals x divided by 10. Remember, we're doing integer math. X becomes 530. So that's still greater than 0. So we come back in and do the loop again. And when x is 530, we're going to print x mod 10, which is going to print a 0, because there's no remainder out of 530 when you divide by 10. And then we divide by 10, and that lops off the 0. Hopefully you can see the pattern. We're just getting all the digits of the number one at a time. This time when you do modulo 10, you get a 3. And when we divide by 10, we just get 5. And then we print out 5 mod 10 is still 5. Divide by 10 and you get 0, and it doesn't do the loop anymore. So really the final answer would be 9035. It's just getting the digits of the number one at a time out of the number. We'll do more with this sort of thing on Monday. And that's it. That's it for the notes. So I'm gonna